scenes where the magic sits. It's the heartbeat of the now and the then, where the story starts and never ends. Tune in, lean and feel the groove. Every moment, a vibe you can't lose. It's for the culture, by the culture. Braylon has got the soul to show you. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire. Hear the whispers in the city's hum, echoes of stories where we're from. A beat, a step, a voice so clear, the pulse of us, it's all right here. We got soul, we got flavor. Every moment is a savior. Every experience is an overcomer. Turn it up, feel the glow.
Well, hello to you, where you once again. Excuse me, child. Welcome back into another edition of Braylon's Virtual Tour Live. Glad to have all of you here in the building with me. We may do what it do earlier at 6 o'clock with Tyler Perry. And we're about to do it again with Brian King Joseph and Will Smith. Shout out to Document Tingz for providing the court documents. So, like I said, I have not read this before right now in front of all of you. So we're going to learn in real time, allegedly, what happens. Let's get to it. Hire is waiting. No is available. But either way, we got to go on tour. Yes, indeed, we do. Let me tell you this iconic intro here. You see that virtual tour background? Yes, you do. You hear that virtual tour music? Yes, you do. And then there is me. Hey, everybody. Welcome in. Glad to have you here once again. 5 people in the building. Thank you all so much for being here. Let's get to the getting and doing what we do. Because, my Lord, not one lawsuit dropped today. 2 of them. My Lord Jesus. So, yeah. By the way, do y'all like what I did with the thumbnail? Those were actually Will Smith's words from the Bel Air finale. I was just like, what can I do to really like make the thumbnail pop? And I'm just like, yeah, that would be about the only way to do it. Kaizen, Howell, hello, welcome in. Brianna, Kalunde, welcome in. Glad to have you here as well. Let's get to the beginning and do what we do. Okay, here we go. Superior Court of California, County of Los Angeles, limited jurisdiction. Brian King Joseph, the plaintiff, Trey Ball Studios Management Incorporated, a California corporation. Willard Carroll Smith II, an individual, and those 1 through 50 inclusive. Wait, Carroll is his middle name? What? Okay, I never knew that. So in the complaint, retaliation in violation of FEHA, retaliation pursuant to California Labor Code 1102.5, wrongful termination in violation of public policy, Bain Act violation, California Civil Code 52.1, Ralph Act violation, California Civil Code 51.7, and sexual harassment in violation of FEA. Demand for jury trial. So with all that being said, here we go, everybody. Summary of action. Defendant wrongfully terminated and retaliated against plaintiff in violation of the California Labor Code 1102.5, California Labor Code 6310, and multiple instances of California public policy. These sections prohibit employers from terminating or retaliating against employees or engaging in protected activities such as reporting illegal or unsafe working conditions. Here, plaintiff was terminated based on his complaints of unsafe working conditions and practices that defendant engaged in. Plaintiff seeks to recover for this flagrant violation of law. Parties. Brian King Joseph plaintiff is an individual who resides in the state of California. Defendant Trey Ball Studios Management Incorporated TSM is a Delaware corporation doing business in the state of California. Defendant Willard Carroll Smith II is an individual who resides in the state of California. Plaintiff is ignorant of the true names and capacities of defendants sued herein as those 1 through 50 collectively with Trey Ball Studios Management and Willard Carroll Smith II, the defendants. Let me look up Trey Ball Studios Management because I never heard of them. Trey Ball Studios Management. Oh, it pulled right up for me. Okay, so it does not pull up obviously the website for it, unfortunately, but it does pull up the address of the Trey Ball Studios Management, and also brings up the articles about it. So there it is. There. Okay, let's keep going. Okay. Where are we? And Willard Carroll Smith II, the defendants inclusive, and therefore sues those such by such fictitious names under California Code of Civil Procedure 474. Plaintiff will amend this complaint to allege their true names and capacities when the same are ascertained. Plaintiff is informed and believes and thereon alleges that each of the fictitiously named defendants is legally responsible in some manner for the occurrences herein alleged, and that the injuries of plaintiff as herein alleged have been proximately caused by the aforementioned defendants and each of them. On information and belief, one or more defendant is the full or partial owner of, partial parent or owner of a wholly and partially owned subsidiary or division of the agent of the alter egos of each other and or subsidiaries or divisions of an unknown and unnamed parent or holding enterprise. Plaintiff is informed and believes and thereon alleges that each of the defendants named herein has at all times relevant to this action been the officer, agent, employee, and or representative. Other remaining defendants have acted within the course and scope of such agency and employment with the permission and consent of the defendants. Plaintiff is informed and believes and thereon alleges that each of said defendants is responsible jointly and severally for the events and injuries described herein and cause damages thereby to plaintiff as alleged herein as the operations of each defendants together with the other ones consist of a integrated enterprise with centralized operations such that the parent has substantial control over the subsidiaries' employment practices and the hiring and firing of employees. On information and belief, it further is alleged that the defendants were at all times relevant here to the alter egos of each other, such that to affirm the legal separateness of the defendants for purposes of the claims presented in this action would lead to an injustice or inequitable result. There is a unity of interest and ownership between the company and its equitable owner or owners that the separate personalities of the company and its shareholders do not in reality exist. Defendants exhibit an interrelation of operations, commingling of funds, lack of observation of corporate formalities, undercapitalization, centralized control, common management, common financial control, such that they are an integrated enterprise and or alter egos. This section right here, I literally just read this like 6 o'clock, so I'm just, it's giving me a little deja vu. Or deja now, for sure here. The company is a mere shell, instrumentality, and conduit through which the individual defendants carried on their business, exercise complete control and dominance of such business to the extent that any individuality or separateness of the defendants does not and did not exist. Plaintiff is informed and believed and thereon alleges that at all times herein mentioned each of the defendants defendants were acting as the partner, agent, servant, and employee of each of the remaining defendants in doing the things alleged here, and was acting within the course and scope of such agency and with the knowledge of the remaining defendants. Stop. Yes, it is there. Hello, Dan. Welcome in. Glad to have you here. I'm reading off court documents. So yeah, I've been on YouTube for 3 years. So nothing crazy. I'm gonna keep going here. So that was basically just setting up everything here of what the plaintiff believes of Will Smith and Trey Ball, studios management, everything in between. So yes, in here, let me turn this down. Okay. Let's see. Oh, come back to me. Okay, venue and jurisdiction. The California Superior Court has jurisdiction in this matter due to defendant's violation among other statutes, the California Labor Code, California Government Code, and related common law principles. The California Superior Court has also jurisdiction in this matter because the individual monetary damages and restitution sought herein exceed the minimal jurisdiction limits of the Superior Court and will be established at trial according to proof. Venue is proper in Los Angeles County pursuant to CCP 395 and CCP 395.5, and that liability arose there because at least some of the transactions that are the subject matter of this complaint occurred therein, and or each defendant either is found, maintain offices, transacts business, or has an agent therein. All right. So here we go into the factual allegations. Now, like I said, everything that I am saying right now, is as it is. Okay, so just know that. Anytime that you are reading court documents, which a lot of content creators do, like Pam Esquire. So for all the subscribers that say, please quit reading court documents, have that same energy with everybody else or shut the fuck up. Okay? Court TV's been doing this a long time as well. You know, ABC News, NBC News. I'm not going to say CBS News anymore because that's MAGA run news now. Trying to think. MS Now used to be MSNBC. Fox News, they do exist. Many news organizations around the world have read court documents. So, yes, indeed. Just wanted to clear that up for anybody, just in case they wanted to get a attitude, fill away this, that, and the third. Child. I'm done with people thinking that they are somebody. Really, when they move like a nobody. So I'm just done with that shit. Like, keep the same energy for everything else, or don't have any energy. Okay, that's just my take on it. Okay, here we go. Factual allegations. Plaintiff is a professional violinist who became employed by defendants in connection with a high-profile live music tour as a tour musician and crew member. Following studio sessions with several high-profile artists, plaintiff was referred to defendants for potential recording opportunity. Two representatives for defendants contacted plaintiff about coming out to Smith's personal residence for an introduction. In or around November 2024, Omar arrived plaintiff with Smith's address, where plaintiff met Smith and showcased his talent on the violin. At the same meeting, Smith invited plaintiff to join Smith at an upcoming performance in San Diego, which was set for December 2024, and ultimately to join Smith as a part of his global tour based on True Story 2025 tour. In or around December 2024, plaintiff performed at Smith's San Diego show and was subconsciously invited by Smith to be more involved with the performance. Smith expressed to plaintiff that he was a valued member of the group and slowly provided plaintiff additional stage time and features during the course of his shows. Thereafter, Smith invited plaintiff to play on several tracks of Smith's upcoming album, and their relationship grew even closer. Smith and plaintiff began spending additional time alone with Smith, even telling plaintiff that you and I have such a special connection that I don't have with anyone else, and other similar expressions indicating his closeness to plaintiff. Following a 2-month break from the December performance, plaintiff was provided with documentation and touring information for Smith's global tour. The tour spanned several months was spanned over several months, yes. And plaintiff was provided with a full schedule for upcoming performances in reliance of the upcoming tour. Plaintiff advised defendants representatives that he will be spending thousands of dollars for additional musical equipment, medication, and other necessities for the tour. Now, I will say this: when it comes to live events, right? Because we talk about media all the time over here. The medication is usually worked out way before the tour, right? Any necessities in terms of like hotel accommodations, picking you up from the hotel to the venue. And Will Smith is Will Smith, so he doesn't have to, he doesn't have to travel on RV everywhere, right? And then the musical equipment. If you are a part of the band usually has, expenses that they can write off. So just want to give some context, connection about that. They're in or around March of 2025. Plaintiff joined Smith for the first leg of the tour in Las Vegas, Nevada. Defendant booked rooms for plaintiff, the rest of the band, and crew members, with each individual room number confirmation code being sent on spreadsheet. The cast and crew, no other individuals besides for the crew and hotel staff had access to plaintiff's personal room. Plaintiff's personal bag, which contained his room key, was left in the van, responsible for transporting all cast and crew members of defendant's team around 11 a.m. when plaintiff and crew were dropped off at the venue for rehearsal. Plaintiff requested that management retrieve his bag at 3 p.m., at which point management indicated that they were unable to find it. At 5 p.m., management returned to plaintiff with bag, which contained plaintiff's key. On or about March 20th, 2025, at around 11 p.m., while staying at a hotel in Vegas, Las Vegas rather, for a scheduled performance within the store, plaintiff returned to his assigned hotel room and discovered evidence suggesting that an unknown person had unlawfully entered the room. Now, if this is sounding familiar to you, it's because during our New Year's Day check-in, right, we talked about that. So, yes, indeed, there. All right, let's keep going here. According to hotel security, there were no signs of forced entry into the room, and the only individuals with access to the room would have been a part of defendant's management team who booked the room for plaintiff. This information was documented by phone calls between plaintiff and hotel security. The evidence included a handwritten note addressed to plaintiff by name, which read, "Brian, I will be back no later than 5:30. Just us, drawn heart, stoned F." Among the remaining belongings were wipes, a beer bottle, red backpack, a bottle of HIV medication with another individual's name, an earring, and hospital discharge paperwork belonging to a person unbeknownst to plaintiff. Plaintiff feared that unknown individual will soon return to his room to engage with sexual acts with the plaintiff. Now, I do want to note here that we do not know the other individual's name, okay? Stoned F, I thought that stood for stoned as fuck. Okay. Just gonna keep it a buck. Maybe Stone F might be the name of somebody on Will Smith's team. But that's all we know as of right now. So let's keep going here. Concerned for his safety and the safety of his fellow performers and crew, plaintiff immediately notified hotel security representatives for defendant, obtained photo documentation, requested a room change, and called the local non-emergency police line 311 to report the incident. Plaintiff reported the event and followed all instructions he was given by a defendant's management team. He filed a full written incident report with hotel security, communicated with hotel management, and offered to provide all information to defendant. Plaintiff made clear that his only concern was safety and that he did not wish to receive any special treatment or compensation. On or around March 21st, 2025, plaintiff traveled back to Los Angeles the next day to support the cast and crew for a pre-recorded show. Now I'm trying to think. Will Smith was on tour, right, in 2025. So I don't know what the plaintiff flew back for. Maybe he had another engagement because you do pre-record stuff, maybe for like a television event or for some content that's going to be uploaded to social media, but no details there on what the pre-record show was. However, plaintiff was told by Tim Miller that it was just too late to enter through the crew interest, and that was they would see him in New Mexico just weeks later on for the next leg of the tour. On or around March 23rd, 2025, plaintiff reached out to Miller to speak about the next leg of the tour. On or around March 24th, 2025, plaintiff spoke with Miller, during which Miller began blaming plaintiff for the incident that transpired on March 20th, 2025, rather than being protected against further assault and for attempting to understand plaintiff's complaint. Plaintiff was shamed by defendant and was told that he was being terminated. When plaintiff requested for further reasoning, Tim Miller, acting on behalf of defendants Will Smith and Trey Ball of Studios Entertainment, or Trey Ball Studios Management, rather, redirected the blame rather for the termination onto plaintiff, replying, "I don't know, you tell me, because everyone's telling me that what happened to you is a lie. Nothing happened. You made the whole thing up. So tell me, why did you lie, make this up?" Plaintiff, shocked at the accusation, had nothing further to say and felt as though the reports, evidence, and turmoil from the night before spoke for itself. As requested by Miller, plaintiff submitted evidence at timeline of events that transpired on March 20th, 2025, attempting to explain the traumatic series of events that occurred that evening. Defendant never made any effort to verify if the safety concern was true or not. One call to hotel security would have been sufficient. Instead, defendant was intent on firing plaintiff because he reported the attempted sexual assault. Miller also indicated in person via email that the tour was moving in a different direction, which was part of the reason for plaintiff's termination. However, following plaintiff's report and termination, defendant hired another violinist to assume the same position on the tour. This hire strongly suggested that defendant's stated reason for termination was pretextual. Plaintiff further pleads on information and belief that defendant's conduct goes beyond a mere failure to protect employees' safety or dispute over a claim. The facts strongly suggest that defendant Willard Carroll Smith, I still can't believe Carroll is his middle name, Willard Carroll Smith II, was deliberately grooming and priming Mr. Joseph for further sexual exploitation. The sequence of events, Smith's prior statements to plaintiff, and circumstances of the hotel intrusion all point to a pattern of predatory behavior rather than an isolated incident. Defendant's actions caused plaintiff severe emotional distress, economic loss, reputational harm, and other damages. Plaintiff was also harmed as a result of the stress of losing his job. His health deteriorated, causing major physiological damage. Plaintiff suffered from PTSD, rather, other mental illness as a result of the termination. So that is that there. With that being said, let's get into it. I did not really hear that there was an engagement of energy between Brian King Joseph and Will Smith. As we read in the first lawsuit with Tyler Perry and Mario Rodriguez, there was intangible things that was exchanged, and we didn't see that in this. Not to say that this did not happen. I would think that after you have done the slap her around the world, and that your wife Jada did the most by saying that she was an entanglement, that you would not add on to what's already going on with you. But hey, that's just me. You know what I mean? So yeah, not doubting this story. I just, in this complaint, I did not see, anything that is concrete. And that's not to say that this did not happen, right? Because as we heard, like I said, Stoned F, we don't know who Stoned F is, or was that stoned as fuck. And then, of course, file HIV medication, hospital discharge paperwork belonging to a person unbeknownst to plaintiff, right? So if it was unbeknownst to plaintiff, whoever's name is on that paperwork is the person that broke into the room. So that's my logic in reading this. I'm not discounting Brian King Joseph. Like we said before, men do get essayed as well, and those stories deserve to be heard, deserve to be received, and deserve to have a space to breathe. And of course, this is why you let all the facts play out. Otherwise, you are a milagro, gramz, or Tosh K. Okay. All right. Or any other black man who did way too damn much as a blogger or as an entity to another person. Okay. We're equal opportunity over here. Yes, indeed. So let's keep going here. Right here, first cause of action. Retaliation in violation of reporting sexual harassment, FEHA, Government Code 12940H, against all defendants. Plaintiff incorporates by reference and realleges here in each and every one of the allegations contained in the preceding and foregoing paragraphs of this complaint, as if fully set forth herein. Government Code 12940H states that it is illegal for any employer, labor organization, government employment agency rather, or person to discharge, expel, or otherwise discriminate against any person because the person has opposed any practices forbidden under this part, or because the person has filed a complaint, testified, or insisted in any proceeding under this part. Plaintiff was an employee of defendant's work in California. Defendant took adverse employment action against claimant by terminating his employment as the tourist violence for Smith's Global Tour. Among other things, defendant terminated plaintiff's employment because he made opposed practices forbidden by Government Code 12940H, where he reported what he did reasonably believed to be sex-based harassment at work. Plaintiff's complaint of sex-based harassment was a substantial motivating reason for the adverse employment action. Defendant removed plaintiff's previous role as the tour's violinist for the next show in Los Angeles, and then effectively terminated his employment from the tour altogether. Plaintiff was harmed. Defendant's decision to remove him from the tour and end his employment altogether directly caused plaintiff's harm as a direct and approximate result of the acts of defendants. As alleged above, plaintiff has suffered humiliation, mental and physical distress, and anxiety, and has generally been damaged. It has been generally damaged and amount to be ascertained at the time of trial. The acts of defendants, and each of them were undertaken for improper purposes, as alleged above, and were willful, wanton, deliberate, malicious, oppressive, despicable, unconscious disregard plaintiff's rights, and were designed and intended to cause, and did in fact cause, plaintiff to suffer economic damages, physical pain and injury, and substantial emotional distress and significant PTSD, and therefore justify the awarding of substantial exemplary and punitive damages. Defendant's conduct described herein was engaged by managing agents for defendant or ratified by managing agents. Second cause of action, retaliation, labor code 1102.5 against all defendants. Plaintiff incorporates by reference and realleges here in each and every one of the allegations contained in the preceding and foregoing paragraphs of this complaint, as if fully set forth herein. Pursuant to Labor Code 1102.5, it is unlawful for an employer to retaliate against an employee for disclosing information or because the employer believes that the employee disclosed or may disclose information if the employer has reasonable cause to believe that the information discloses a violation of state or federal statute or violation or not compliance with a local, state, or federal rule or regulation. Plaintiff hereby claims that defendants discharged him in retaliation for engaging in protected activities when he reported unlawful conduct during a work tour. Defendant was plaintiff's employer at the time of retaliation. Plaintiff complained about the illegality of such conduct to defendant's employees or representatives, and by doing so and engaged in a protected activity, defendant discharged plaintiff. Plaintiff's protected activity was a contributing factor in defendant's decision to discharge plaintiff. As a direct and proximate result of the acts of defendants as alleged above, plaintiff has suffered humiliation, mental and physical distress, and anxiety, has been generally damaged in an amount to be ascertained at the time of trial. The acts of defendants and each of them were undertaken for improper purposes as alleged above, and were willful, wanton, deliberate, malicious, oppressive, despicable, and conscious disregard of plaintiff's rights, and were designed and intended to cause, and did in fact cause, plaintiff to suffer economic damages, physical pain and injury, and substantial emotional distress, and PTSD, and therefore justifying the awarding of substantial exemplary punitive damages. The defendant's conduct described herein was engaged by managing agents for defendant and or ratified by managing agents. As a result of the termination, plaintiff was damaged and not to be determined at trial. Third cause of action: retaliatory termination and violation of public policy against all defendants. Plaintiff incorporates by reference and re-alleges here in each and every one of the allegations contained in the preceding and foregoing paragraphs of this complaint as if fully set forth here. And at all times to this complaint, it has been the law of the state of California to prevent retaliation against employees who complain about workplace health and safety conditions. It is unlawful for an employer to terminate an employee when the discharge of the employee contravenes the dictates of public policy. Tamari versus Atlantic Richfield. Plaintiff claims that he was discharged from his employment with defendant for reporting conduct that violates public policy. Leading up to the time of the discharge, plaintiff was employed by defendant. Plaintiff engaged in a protected activity by reporting the trespass of an unknown intruder into the hotel room looked for him by defendants who made sexual assault threats at him while he was on the job. Defendant discharge. Plaintiff's protected activity was a substantial motivating reason for plaintiff's discharge as a direct and approximate result of the acts of defendants as alleged above. Plaintiff has suffered humiliation, mental and physical distress, and anxiety, and has been generally damaged in an amount to be ascertained at the time of trial. The acts of defendants, and each of them were undertaken for improper purposes as alleged above, and were willful, wanton, deliberate, malicious, oppressive, despicable, and conscious disregard of plaintiff's rights, and were designed and intended to cause, and did in fact cause, plaintiff to suffer economic damages, physical pain and injury, and substantial emotional distress and significant PTSD, and therefore justifying the awarding of substantial exemplary and punitive damages. The defendant's conduct described herein was engaged by managing agents for a defendant and or ratified by managing agents. As a result of the termination, plaintiff was damaged in an amount to be determined at trial. Fourth cause of action here: main and violation civil code 52.1 against all defendants. Plaintiff incorporates by reference and realleges here in each and every one of the allegations contained in the preceding and foregoing paragraphs of this complaint as if fully set forth here. And plaintiff had the right under the laws and constitution of the state of California to report safety hazards in his workplace and to be free from retaliation of doing so, including rights protected by California Labor Code 6310 and 1102.5 rather, and the California Constitution's guarantees of personal security and safety. Following the unlawful entry by a unknown person and leaving of personal items, and a note addressed to plaintiff in his hotel room while employed by defendants. Plaintiff exercised his rights by reporting the incident to hotel security, filing a written report, contacting defendant's management, filing a report with them, and requesting that appropriate safety measures be taken. Following these protected actions, defendants, through their agents or representatives, engaged in threats, intimidation, and or coercion by abruptly terminating plaintiff's employment, falsely stating that they were moving in a different direction and replacing him with another violinist. These acts were intended to and did cause plaintiff to reasonably believe that if he exercised his rights to report workplace safety hazards or demand a safe working environment, defendants would take adverse employment actions against him, including termination of his livelihood and damage to his professional reputation. In the alternative, defendant's determination of plaintiff was a retaliatory act intended to punish him for exercising the above rights and deter him and others from engaging in such protected activity in the future. Defendants intended to deprive plaintiff of his enjoyment of the rights and interests protected by California law, including the right to report workplace safety hazards and to work in a secure environment free from retaliation. Plaintiff believes that Will Smith himself was involved in the decision to terminate plaintiff. As a direct and approximate result of defendant's actions, plaintiff suffered and continues to suffer substantial harm, including economic losses, severe emotional distress, mental anguish, reputational harm, and significant PTSD and other damages according to proof at trial. Pursuant to California Civil Code 52.1, plaintiff is entitled to compensatory damages, punitive damages, civil penalties, injunctive and declaratory relief, and reasonable attorney fees and costs. Oh, my Lord Jesus. My Lord, my Lord, my Lord. Oh, wow. Thank you guys so much. 3,350 subscribers there. Thank you so much there. I appreciate y'all very, very much. Listen, we just do what we can with what we got and try to go about with decency, order, and respect. That's all we do over here. Yes, indeed. So. Yes, indeed. I think we're on the fifth cause of action here. Ralph Act violation Civil Code 51.7 against all defendants, plaintiff incorporates by reference and realleges here in each and every one of the allegations contained in the preceding and foregoing paragraphs of this complaint, as if fully set forth herein at all times relevant. Plaintiff had the right under California Civil Code 51.7 to be free from violence or intimidation by threat of violence because of his sex and or sexual orientation, whether actual or perceived, or working for defendants. Plaintiffs return to his hotel room assigned and arranged by defendants and discover evidence of an unlawful entry and an individual's personal belongings and evidence of sexual threat of violence. The intrusion into plaintiff's hotel room was in violent act and or intimidation by threat of violence against plaintiff's person and property and in sexual nature. The circumstances include the personal nature of the items left behind, the note addressed to plaintiff, and prior statements by Smith to plaintiff, such as "you and I have such a special connection," support the inference that plaintiff believed that the substantial motivating reason for the unlawful entry and related conduct was plaintiff's sex and or sexual orientation. Plaintiff promptly reported the intrusion to hotel security and defendant's management, filed a written incident report and sought safety measures. Shortly thereafter, defendants terminated plaintiff from the tour under false pretenses and placed him with another violinist. Defendant's actions, including failing to take protective measures and terminate plaintiff in retaliation for reporting potentially sexual violent acts, were substantially motivated by plaintiff's sex and or sexual orientation. Give me a moment. There we go. Let me read that one more time. Defendant's actions, including failing to take protective measures and terminating plaintiff in retaliation for violent acts, were substantially motivated by plaintiff's sex and or sexual orientation or by defendant's perception thereof. As a direct and approximate result of defendant's conduct, plaintiff suffered and continues to suffer substantial harm, including severe emotional distress, fear for his personal safety, economic losses, and damage to his professional reputation, significant PTSD. Pursuant to California Civil Code 51.7 and 52B, plaintiff is entitled to compensatory damages, punitive damages, statutory penalties, injunctive and declaratory relief, and reasonable attorney fees and costs, and all other damages. The sixth cause of action, sexual harassment violation of FEHA, Government Code 12940J against all defendants. Let's see here. Plaintiff incorporates by reference and realleges here in each and every one of the allegations contained in the preceding and foregoing paragraphs of this complaint, as if fully set forth here in Government Code 12940J, makes it illegal for an employer, labor organization, employment agency, apprenticeship training program, or any training program leading to employment or any other person because of race, religious creed, color, national origin, ancestry, physical disability, mental disability, medical condition, genetic information, marital status, sex, gender identity, gender expression, age, sexual orientation, reproductive health, decision making, or veteran or military status or status, to harass an employee, an applicant, an unpaid intern, volunteer, or a person providing services pursuant to a contract. It further states that the employer may also be responsible for the acts of non-employees with respect to harassment of employees, applicants, unpaid interns, or volunteers, or persons providing services pursuant to a contract in the workplace if the employer or its agents or supervisors knows or should have known of the conduct and fails to take immediate and appropriate corrective action. Defendant was an employee of defendants and or provide services pursuant to a contract to defendants. Plaintiff was based in Los Angeles, primarily working, practicing, preparing for the tour out of California, with tours scheduled at various times across the United States, including California. An individual broke into plaintiff's hotel room while he was working for an on-tour defendant. That individual left a handwritten note addressed to plaintiff with the intent to engage in sexual acts with plaintiff at a later times in said hotel room. This intrusion occurred in a hotel room assigned and arranged by defendants for the tour in which the plaintiff was working. Plaintiff made a protected complaint about what he reasonably and objectively believed to be protected sexual harassment rather to defendants. Defendants knew of the conduct of this intruder after it was reported to them and failed to take immediate and appropriate corrective action after plaintiff reported sexual harassment. Plaintiff's complaint regarding the sexual harassment was a substantial motivating reason for the adverse employment action. Defendant removed plaintiff's previous role as the tour violinist for the next show in New Mexico and then effectively terminated his appointment from the tour altogether immediately after plaintiff made such a complaint. And as a result of making such complaint, plaintiff was harmed. Defendant's decision to remove him from the tour and end employment with plaintiff directly caused plaintiff's harm as a direct and proximate result of the acts of defendants as alleged above. Plaintiff had suffered humiliation, mental and physical distress, and anxiety, and has generally been damaged in amount to be ascertained at the time of trial. The acts of defendants and each of them were undertaken for improper purposes as alleged above and were willful, wanton, deliberate, malicious, oppressive, despicable, and conscious disregard of plaintiff's rights, and were designed and intended to cause and did in fact cause plaintiff to suffer economic damages, physical pain and injury, and substantial emotional loss and significant PTSD, and therefore justify the awarding of substantial exemplary and punitive damages. Defendant's conduct described herein was engaged by managing agents for defendant and or ratified by managing agents. Prayer for relief. The plaintiff prayers for judgment as follows: A, for special, general, and compensatory damages according to proof at trial. B, for punitive damages according to proof at trial. C, for reasonable attorney's fees, expert witness fees, and other litigation expenses pursuant to law. D, for adjunctive relief where the court deems appropriate. E, for all other relief the court deems appropriate and just. And F for E, for all other relief the court deems appropriate and just. And now F, for an amount of damages as determined by the jury. Respectfully submitted, December 29th, 2025, John J. DeShad, Esquire. That's the guy who did the Tyler Perry complaint there. So, got that done under an hour. So what do I think about all this? Well, first of all, it sounds like it is more about the fact that his contract got terminated than anything else, right? For one, you should not get your contract terminated because you was trying to protect yourself, right? I do think there needs to be more about what Will Smith did or did not do when it came to, the SA, because saying you and I have a special connection. What was the special connection? Was that in terms of your artistry, the way you got some your music? What was that? I do think the HIV medication, the backpack, and the medical note, or the discharge rather, we need to know what that's about as well. But it seemed like more about the termination than anything else. And I do think the sexual harassment was just as important, but it seemed like more in the complaint from how I read it, it was more about the workplace. So there is that for you all. We're going to take a little commercial break. We'll be back to wrap up the show right after this. We are live on tour. Like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll be back right after this. Rolling.
Lights go low, the told under moonlit skies. Braylon got the vibe, got the flow for the culture. Yeah, you already know. Turn it up, lean back, feel the breeze. Late night truths drifting through the trees. It's for the culture, by the culture. Braylon got the soul to show ya. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire. Headlines flip with a soulful twist. Behind the scenes where the magic sits. It's the heartbeat of the now and the then, where the story starts and never ends. Tune in, lean in, feel the groove. Every moment, a vibe you can't lose. It's for the culture, by the culture. Braylon got the soul to show ya. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire. Hear the whispers in the city's hum, echoes of stories where we're from. A beat, a step, a voice so clear. The pulse of us, it's all right here. We got soul, we got flavor. Every moment is a savior. Every experience is an overcomer. Turn it up, feel the glow, let the rhythm flow. Spotlight shining, we in the zone. This is the place where the culture's grown. Stories untold, now they're coming alive. Braylon got the vibe tonight. One thing to know and two things for sure. Higher is waiting and lower is available. But either way, we gotta go on tour. It's Braylon Lee's virtual tour, where the culture makes its move. Feel the love, feel the truth. This is us, this is you. From the unknown, the unembraced and more. This show, this brand and the possibilities of what can be is all here for you. I'm just a kid from the rock, trying to be a rock for people, trying to make it best they can to become. Being moved as a creator of power, to lift up all of us, not just a selective few. For the culture, by the culture, here we be. Braylon Lee, bringing life to your screen. Feel the soul, feel the truth, we're free. Trust and believe it's entertainment, news done our way with. Braylon Lee, spotlight sharp like a diamond shine. We see the stars, what the stories align. Deep in the soul where the heartbeats find. The pulse of the people redefining time. Just a pro tip, people have to earn the right to hear your story, but in addition to the people have to earn the responsibility to be a part of it. Just because we are not seen by everybody doesn't mean we are not being seen by who needs to see us. Noise equals attention and sound equals purpose. Anybody can be a creator, but it takes a somebody to be an artist.
Beyond this gate, find gardens green and epic worlds to fill your dreams.
really no secret about our approach. We keep moving forward,
with the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.
In Disney's 102-year history, there have been many defining moments and countless achievements. Today, we celebrate another thrilling moment, the creation of a spectacular new Disney theme park resort coming to Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi is a place where heritage meets innovation, a place where we preserve our past while designing the future.
Bringing a Disney theme park resort to Yas Island, Abu Dhabi, marks a historic milestone in our journey as a global family destination.
The 7th Disney theme park resort destination represents a new frontier in theme park ambitions. Our resort in Abu Dhabi will be the most advanced and interactive destination in our entire portfolio. The location of our park is incredibly unique. It's anchored by a beautiful waterfront, which will allow us to tell our stories in completely new ways. Ultimately, this project will be a celebration of what's possible when creativity and progress come together.
What we are creating with Disney in Abu Dhabi is a whole new world of imagination and experience that will inspire generations across the region and the world.
This collaboration represents a powerful fusion of Disney's unmatched legacy in storytelling and Mira's commitment to bringing world-class entertainment to our guests.
Abu Dhabi's vision for the future is to create a legacy for generations to come.
Disneyland Abu Dhabi will be authentically Disney and distinctly Emirati. An oasis of extraordinary Disney entertainment at this crossroads of the world. It will bring to life our timeless characters and stories in many new ways, becoming a source of joy and inspiration for the people of this vast region to enjoy for generations to come.
Caesar. Just look at him. Politician. General. Author. Ruler. Man. Legend has it, he's not only stared into the belly of the beast, he's had it for dinner. Here he's free to relax, or party, or relax, or party, or relax, and party. His is a world of opulence, excess, and the occasional impulse buy. Not one to rest on his laurels, he's famous for ushering in a new age of entertainment. So, for anyone seeking a place where the sun never sets on a good time, all this awaits.
I am Caesar, and I approve this palace.
Come with me if you want to live a more delicious life.
Oh, maybe we should get in the van.
In this world, we don't get to control much. The past, nail pattern baldness.
What yeast?
Got one right now. The urge to puff that bubble wrap.
But there is one thing we do get to choose every single day: what we eat.
the Dasonic Department of Research and Deliciousness. We have everything you want, didn't know you wanted, and some things you didn't know were possible. Because we believe if you're not having fun, you're not living free. So come on, let's live a little.
McDonald's, I'm loving it. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Indeed, I'm loving y'all right back. Welcome back into Braylon's Virtual Tour Live. Y'all, that's it. That's all I got for you. 15 pages, not too bad. We did that under an hour. Like I said, it seems to me that it's more about the workplace termination than anything else. I do think that, you know, there is sexual harassment there. Now, I don't know if Will Smith perpetrated it because it didn't explicably say Will Smith. It didn't say Will Smith, you know, did this, that, and the third, right? So, like I said, we have to let the facts come out, all of them, because this was just the initial complaint. And so I'm sure more will be done in discovery. I will say that the Mario Rodriguez versus the Tyler Perry lawsuit definitely has more tangible things. But then again, Mario also texted Tyler Perry asking for money as well. So, you know, yeah. But that is my take on both of these. The fact that we were able to read 2 complaints in the same day, my Lord Jesus. So 3 shows in one day. We did our morning edition at 11 a.m. Then we did the Tyler Perry, Mario Rodriguez lawsuit at 6 p.m. And we just did the Brian King Joseph Will Smith lawsuit at 9 p.m. So 3 shows in one day. Of course, tomorrow, if you are looking for content on this channel, here our channel. Of course, y'all know we are watching Ready to Love. Now, hopefully, Ready to Love is on tonight. Okay, we got these holiday breaks and shit. But I'm ready to see Ready to Love. So hopefully we'll do that tomorrow or Sunday, depending on what's going on. So stay tuned for that. And then I think we should be back with your regularly scheduled reality television recaps. Monday is, of course, Housewives of Potomac. And then Tuesday is Married to Medicine. So we'll see what those ladies are up to then. So, and like I said, if there's any new shows that are out that you want me to review, let me know. DM me at Braylon_Lee25. I'm always interested to see what you guys are watching and talking about, discussing. And if it's interesting to me, I'll talk about it. And like I say, you just never know unless you ask. So that is pretty much it for me as we get to one full-fledged hour. There it is. That means I'm going to turn my camera now because we've done the whole show for over an hour. Yes, we have. Woo, my Lord Jesus. What a first day of the new year. Like I said, Tyler Perry getting sued again for SA, and then Will Smith being sued for SA. So the year has started, everybody. And don't forget, everybody, Milagro Gramz still has to respond to Megan Thee Stallion's complaint about re-entering defamation by January 6th. Otherwise, it could be a default judgment. So a lot going on in the world of pop culture and law. So yeah, absolutely. We're just here chilling out. Like I said, I'm gonna rest here for at least 5 minutes or so, and then we'll head on out of here. But yeah, good stuff. Child, I actually want to fall asleep, really. For real. But all good in the neighborhood. Yes, indeed. Man. Like I said, hopefully your Friday has went well. Yes, indeed. Some of y'all went back to work today. For the rest of y'all, for the rest of you, I know some of the people in corporate America are coming back to work the 5th or the 6th. So there is that as well. So yep. Like I said, hopefully, like I said, this year, I get at least an email for an interview. Yes, we want to interview you. That would be amazing. But all in due time, y'all. All in due time. Like I said, I really do love what I do. I think at this point, I would just like to do it more often. You know, like I said, I want to be able to do this full time. Of course, you know, you gotta have the numbers and subscribers and this, that, and the third, and all that stuff. But still, I think it is time for me to be able to step into my dream full time. I was on with a coworker of mine. And I said to them, like, it will be more difficult this time around to leave the job I'm at now because I actually like the team that I, work with. Now, the old boss, oh my God, if I found a new job, bye-bye, see ya. Don't let the door hit. Listen, no. Nah, hey, goodbye. But because of the boss I have now, sincerely, it will be very difficult to leave that job. But yeah. So. 2 more minutes and then we will head on out of here. Yes, indeed. So. Excuse me, sorry. Yes, indeed. One more. Well, coming up in 1 more minute, and then we shall head on out of here. Yes, indeed. All right, y'all, as we get ready to head on out of here, I want to appreciate each and every single one of you as always. Replay Gang, let me know what you think in the comments below. What do you think about Will Smith being sued for SA? Do you believe it happened or no? And yeah, we'll see what happens this year. The year is already start off with a bang. With that being said, it's time for the best outro on YouTube. Know what you do and do what you know. Never say one point special because you are always one of us and trust you may not be where you want to be, but by the end of it, you'll be where you need to be. Do what you've been chosen to do. Wise one thing to call yourself, another thing to be chosen. One love, much love, all love. I has been time with you. You has been time with me. Hopefully, by spending time together, we're also be great together. Always remember we're doing radio, television, YouTube, living your best life, or just, my Lord, just trying not to rub everybody's bottle. My Lord, make sure the replay is not just worth for you to watch it, not just worth for you to listen to it, but if you want to experience it again, I love you, I value, I embrace you all. Always remember, when I see love, you gotta give it, or see love, you gotta give it, or see love, you gotta give it. Whatever obstacles you've overcome, where successes you have achieved upon this particular day, I'm extremely proud of you, but no one else is proud of you. Be proud of your damn self. Finally, y'all, listen. Sincerely, you would have told me that, this year would start off like this. I mean, like, it's just the first couple of days. Like, let's wait until February. February is my kiss go. Wait, let's wait until March and see what is see what's gonna happen. But like I said, all we can do is be in control of what we can control. All right. One love, much love, all love. I feel love. It's in the right back to you. Commercial break is coming. Commercial break and fireworks coming your way around for the day that was the day that's come for the blessings and all the way for you, me, all of us, as a society, as a people, as a culture. I feel the love and I send it right back to you. Good night, everybody. Love you all. Bye.
I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner.
Good evening. My name is Mark Woodbury. I'm the chairman and CEO of Universal Destinations and Experiences. Well, we're finally here. Tomorrow we begin a new chapter at Universal Orlando Resort as we open Epic Universe. We built this place for you. I want to thank you, our fans, for your love of our stories, characters, and immersive experiences that inspired this incredible place. Epic Universe represents over 8 years of meticulous planning, immense creativity, and innovation, combined with unmatched craftsmanship and operational excellence on the part of thousands of people who have brought to life the stories and characters that live beyond each of Epic's portals. But it represents so much more. Your love of Universal and the deep connections we've shared together here in Orlando over the past 30 years inspired us to dream bigger and to push the boundaries to create something extraordinary for you and for generations of fans and families to come. And tomorrow, as we open Epic Universe, I can't wait for you to experience this place for yourself. Now it's your turn to step inside, to lose yourself, and to share this place with the ones you love most. As we open this park, we hope your world becomes a little more epic. Tomorrow, Epic Universe becomes yours.
Are video games getting too expensive? This episode, we want to find some common ground because the CEOs want to raise the price even more.
Not with these broken ass games.
$5 million. That's how much San Andreas costs to make. Is it their fault for selling or our fault for buying?
Corporations claim all this stuff. Devs say otherwise.
Sports gamers, cozy gamers, whatever you call the people who play Power Wash Simulator.
I think it stinks a little bit more because I'm spending my actual money and my mom is not. Imagine they get rid of all movie theaters and then charge you the same price to watch the same movie at home.
That's like every streaming service. It doesn't have to be the longest of games, but am I having fun with it? This is Lex. I'm Ronell. Let's get right into it. Our video games get...
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content.
Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time.